This is NTV.
It's Friday, 13th March 2020, and tonight the government is calling for calm shortly after confirming the first case of the coronavirus in the country. Kenya's patient zero is in isolation at the Kenyatta National Hospital and is responding well to treatment, at least according to the Cabinet Secretary for Health. Across the country, Kenyans are in a rush to purchase commodities in readiness for any eventuality. Hello there, I trust you've had a great week. We are glad you could join us tonight. NTV Weekend Edition starts right now. Tonight,
the Ministry of Health has confirmed the first coronavirus case in Kenya.
Kenya becomes the first East African country to confirm a positive case of coronavirus. Government announces preventive measures and calls for calm. Also tonight,
Kenyans will live normally. Wherever you are going, go normally. Do carry out your business normally, go to the shopping center normally.
But most Kenyans are not convinced as they head straight to the shelves and ask more of authorities.
Tukienda kwa hospitali kama sisi wanaume tunapewa condoms free. Sasa pia watupatia hizo zinaitwa mask ama vile wataziita, pia tupewe free. Buckle
up for the journey ahead. Plus, business hit hard by the virus as trading is halted at the Nairobi Securities Exchange. Hotel industry feels the pinch as flights are grounded around the world.
We're going to be hit badly, and our key destination, which is Europe, which is United States, that is where we are going to suffer most.
And
the other popular person in this country is Raila Amolo Odinga. After that you come to Francis Atwoli.
Hakuna system na deep seats kuliko ile ilikuwa na Goliath.
Defining the system and the players.
They may have the system. They may have whatever they have. But I want to tell them we have God.
Why the deputy president is crying and the unpredictability of political dances on Bullseye.
This is Weekend Edition with Edmond Nyabola.
Welcome to the broadcast tonight. Our sign language interpreter is David Agondoa. Now tonight, Kenya has confirmed the first case of the coronavirus. The country's index patient, a 27-year-old female Kenyan who arrived in the country from the United States of America through London. According to the Health Cabinet Secretary Mutahi Kagwe, the patient is in a stable condition and recovering at the Kenyatta National Hospital Isolation and Treatment Unit. Eunice Omolo starts us off tonight.
After watching the pandemic spread around the globe, taking lives and disrupting economies, the coronavirus COVID-19 is now in Kenya.
She was confirmed positive by the National Influenza Center Laboratory at the National Public Health Laboratories of the Ministry of Health. I would like to add here, however, the patient is stable. Her temperature has gone down to normal. She is behaving normally. She is eating, but she cannot be released until the tests continue, until she gets negative.
The Kenyan citizen went to the hospital after exhibiting symptoms similar to COVID-19. The government says they're tracing for screening all those she came into contact with. The government, in a bid to restrict the spread of the pandemic, has made recommendations to Kenyans, which include a ban on public gatherings, suspensions of meetings of international nature.
We have suspended all public gatherings, meetings, religious crusades, games, and all events that are of a huge public nature. No more church services can go on, provided that they provide sanitizing and hand washing as people go into the worshiping areas. We have suspended all inter-school events, in other words, school-to-school athletics, school-to-school events, but the schools at this moment remain open.
Kenya has named 13 high-risk countries in the world and has issued a travel advisory to its citizens against traveling to the countries. This as the Kenyan government suspends all non-essential travels by public officers, whether on official or private business. The Health Ministry had earlier placed 14 counties on high alert for coronavirus, given their status as points of entry or their proximity to those that are points of entry. They are Nairobi, Mombasa, Kisumu, Kiambu, Uasin Gishu, Busia, Migori, Kilifi, Kakamega, Kajiado, Nakuru, Wajir, and Garissa. Last week, the Ministry of Health, under the executive directive issued by President Uhuru Kenyatta, set up the second isolation and management unit for COVID-19 at the Mbagathi Referral Hospital in Nairobi. The Health Cabinet Secretary Mutahi Kagwe has ordered all the 47 county governments in the country to have similar isolation centers by Sunday this week. 18 countries in Africa have been affected so far, with a total of over 160 confirmed cases, 5 deaths, and 45 people who have recovered. Countries most affected include Egypt with 80 cases, Algeria with 27, South Africa 16, Senegal 10. Both Morocco and Tunisia have reported 7 cases each, while DRC, Ghana, Nigeria, Burkina Faso, Cameroon recording 2 cases each. Togo, Ivory Coast, Kenya, Gabon, Ethiopia, and South Sudan all have recorded 1 case each. Globally, there are 134,828 confirmed cases since the onset of the pandemic in China. 4,984 people have died and 70,395 have recovered. In Kenya, there's just 1 confirmed case and Wananchi has been asked to go on with life as usual. But there will be some unusual changes in your everyday interactions, starting with being mindful of the person next to you. Eunice Omolo, NTV, Nairobi.
Now, with 1 confirmed case of COVID-19 in the country, the government will be meeting stakeholders from the public transport sector on Tuesday next week to set up rules to deal with the disease. The government is urging Kenyans to stay calm as all measures to treat the possible patients are already in place. But now players in the industry are urging the government to provide masks to protect them from infection, as Leila Mohammed tells us.
Over 80% of the Kenyan economy moves because it is moved by the public transport system. So whether you choose the matatu or the taxi cab or even the boda, the Ministry of Health now says that it has put in place measures to ensure that COVID-19 does not move along with you along the ride.
And that's why we are giving public transport a special focus in terms of these interventions. We told the associations that if there was a serious case of the coronavirus in our country, there will be no business for them.
While countries of origin are recording less numbers of new infections, Kenya is just boarding the bus of new infections, so to speak. The country has been on high alert over the last few months, with the government stating that the effects have been felt far and wide.
The coronavirus and the disaster we are getting is going to affect the entire economy. And the biggest economy that is highly intense, with 1.4 billion people traveling all over the world, that is the sector that will be affected.
For the local transport sector, stakeholders and the public have been asked to fasten their seatbelts. Beginning Monday, public transport operators will go through a basic training exercise on how to sanitize and keep the virus at bay.
Tungeomba na hata kama ni gari, mtu akiwa kwa gari anakuwa safe about kufungua vioo, ndio tunajikinga katika hali yetu.
Tafadhali, manake tukienda kwa hospitali kama sisi wanaume tunapewa condoms free. Sasa pia watupatie hizo zinaitwa mask ama vile wataziita, pia tupewe free na serikali.
Hii kofia tunapatia customer within 10 minutes inaweza kuwa customer 2 wamevaa hii kofia. Kwa hivyo sekta yetu inaweza sambaza hii ugonjwa kwa hali ya juu.
Public transport providers are directed to provide hand sanitizers for their clients and regular cleaning of their vehicles.
Even so, Kenyans have as many questions over their safety now as they did before the virus was confirmed in the country.
Hata naweza sasa fungia hata mtoto wangu kwa nyumba, hata mimi nijifungie kwa nyumba nisitoke nishikwe na hiyo ugonjwa.
Kila mtu akuwe karibu na Mwenyezi Mungu. Manake Mwenyezi Mungu ndio huwa anatulinda popote tunaenda.
Leila Mohamed, NTV.
Now, those who use public transport, and that is actually a good number of Kenyans, have been told to be on high alert. The Health Cabinet Secretary Mutahi Kagwe has urged all public transport operators to stock up on sanitizers to help prevent the virus from spreading. However, many of the operators are asking for more information on the virus as they interact with different people on a daily basis. Take a listen.
Sasa ile msida iko kwa matatu, tunashika pesa. Na bado pesa iko na mchafu. Ukweli? Sasa ndio naona narudi kwa Mungu. Kwa sababu begina nivae groups nikichukua pesa.
Wanafaa waweke maji, waweke disinfectant in every stage before watu waingie kwa gari wanawe vizuri kuzuia hiyo ugonjwa.
Hiyo vile mnasema ati kuna hawa huku kwenye matatu, hiyo sioni kama itakuwa. Huku kila wakati ni kushika pesa, kubeba mzigo kila time.
Hadi ikikuja sioni kama nitasaidika mtu kama mimi. Sinaona mimi mwenyewe niko chini sana. Sasa tunaomba tu labda serikali tusaidie hiyo nini ekuwe mbali na sisi.
Kuna vitu ambazo zinaweza saidia abiria wetu nazo kama hiyo kusanitize. Although the stuff is very expensive, kama hizi tumebuy around 750. So far tunaona watu wana respond poa.
Hizi pesa ambazo tunapewa si bado zitakuwa na hiyo shida. But serikali inafaa tusuguikie. Kama mimi unaniona nikapa hivi, sina gloves. Obviously akinipatia do, nitaweka kwa mfuko. Na hiyo mfuko obviously paka nitoe gloves, niweke kwa mfuko. Na mimi ikinishika, obviously paka nitaambukiza familia yangu kwa nyumba.
And now to something that was rather expected, and panic buying has gripped the market as Kenyans rush to stock up with the essentials after the country confirmed its first positive case of the coronavirus and stoking fears of a possible disruption in the supply chains and spike in commodity prices. Victor Kiprop reports on the development that could not only lead to a shortage of basic items, but also add more panic and confusion to the fight against the global pandemic.
Shortly after Kenya confirmed the first positive case of coronavirus in the country,
Kenyans will live normally. Wherever you are going, go normally. Do carry out your business normally. Go to the shopping center normally.
lengthy queues and full trolleys became a popular sight in retail chains and other shopping outlets. Sanitary products such as hand sanitizers, soaps and antibacterial wipes are flying off the shelf in a frenzied buying, and soon manufacturers may struggle to meet the surge in demand. Food items such as cereals are also being bought in bulk, and what is likely to occasion an increase in food prices. The Competition Authority of Kenya has already warned retailers and manufacturers against collusive price increases and hoarding of commodities.
This is immoral, really. In this situation, for people to increase their prices, not because of the cost of production, but to make abnormal profits. And we can only appeal. At the moment, we have not engaged into price controls. We have not started that process. Obviously, if it went haywire, then the government would discuss and see what measures to take.
Social media is already awash with pictures and videos of the panic buying, in what could add more confusion to the fight against the pandemic, which has already killed thousands, placed millions under quarantine, and battered global markets. Supermarkets in other parts of the world, including the UK, have already been forced to restrict purchases of certain items, including hand sanitizer, pasta, and antibacterial wipes. Victor Kiprop, NTV.
Now, health authorities in several counties across the country are now on high alert and are putting together budgets and teams to counter the possible spread of the virus. However, some health officials are worried about the preparedness in public hospitals to help avert the spread of the disease, as Rose Wangoi now tells us.
Health workers drawn from Kisumu and Kakamega have been trained on how to identify symptoms of the coronavirus. According to the CEO of Aga Khan Western Region, the training is being done in various hospitals.
We have been able to set policies and bring checklists so that they can be able to use to be able to screen out any person that walks in so that they can be able to identify that person.
We also wish to remind nurses about looking after themselves and the importance of teaching their patients and colleagues about good infection control and the need to take care of themselves.
In Migori County, a team of health experts have been deployed along the Isibania-Sirare border to track suspicious cases. Health workers have been screening people arriving from other countries.
Hello.
The county has also formed a rapid response team at county and sub-county levels and trained healthcare workers. Some 40 million shillings has been set aside to mitigate the spread of the disease. County special teams and centers have been set up to deal with coronavirus. The health department has established a quarantine center and also identified and equipped a special ambulance to be used by people suspected to have contracted the disease. The governor of Taita Taveta, Granton Samboja, has directed the county health department to provide sanitizers in all public hospitals and institutions across all the 4 sub-counties to prevent the spread of coronavirus. In Siaya, the county government has formed a committee and identified hospitals and wards to be used by anyone who becomes infected with the deadly virus. Kisumu County has 3 isolation wards to quarantine any suspected case. According to Governor Professor Anyang' Nyong'o, the facility has adequate personal protective equipment and personnel trained to handle cases.
I appeal to politicians, until we finish the coronavirus crisis, please let us deal with funerals. Go and talk about BBI in offices. At least in funerals, I think at this point in time, making them too long with people sitting there for too long, I think, and I am appealing to the public, that hard times require behavioral changes.
In Kilifi County, Health County Executive Anissa Omar said medical workers are being trained on handling coronavirus patients. Several isolation wards are being prepared to quarantine any suspected cases.
That is enough.
Anissa said the county government has procured the necessary equipment to deal with coronavirus infection. Rozongoi, NTV.
And now to the effect of the virus on the economy, and the tourism industry is staring at a particularly tough season in the coming weeks as lockdowns in key source markets threaten to squeeze revenues in the wake of a global pandemic. Tourism Cabinet Secretary Najib Balala told it as it is when explaining what to expect for the sector in the future.
It's going to affect the entire economy.
With the coronavirus in the country, efforts to contain its spread are in high gear. It is what's happening in tourism's source markets, however, that threatens to stifle its revenue streams.
If you've seen the number of people who are arriving already in Jomo Kenyatta Airport, the numbers are very low. So already we are feeling the effect of it. It's going to affect us. Luckily, we are entering into a low season.
The tourism sector is a key source of foreign exchange for the government. If that tap begins to run dry, it could have an impact on the strength of the Kenya shilling. Balala is keen not to sugarcoat the expected impact of the coronavirus.
Definitely, we're going to be hit badly, and our key destination, which is Europe, which is United States, that is where we are going to suffer most. China is already closed, Italy is already closed.
The government has pledged to spend $500 million shillings to help tourism recover post-coronavirus. Alex Mwangi, NTV.
And the World Health Organization has released some guidelines on what you need to do and what you need not to do in these times of the coronavirus. And the first one here being washing your hands frequently, and this is very important, should be an everyday thing. In fact, regularly and thoroughly cleaning your hands with an alcohol-based hand rub or wash them with soap and water for at least 20 seconds. Washing your hands, they say, with soap and water or using an alcohol-based hand rub kills viruses that may be on your hands. And this could be possibly because you might have had some form of contact with an infected person or any other cause for that matter. The second one is maintaining social distancing and maintain at least a 1 meter distance between yourself and anyone who is coughing or sneezing. You need to be very mindful of your environment, and that is what the World Health Organization is talking about here. The third one is avoiding touching your eyes, nose and mouth. Hands touch many surfaces and can pick up viruses. Once contaminated, hands can transfer the virus to your eyes, nose or mouth, and from there the virus can enter your body and can make you sick by spreading all over the body. That is what the World Health Organization says. The fourth one here is practice respiratory hygiene. And this means covering your mouth and nose with your elbow, at least the bent elbow like that is what they say, or tissue when you cough or sneeze. Then dispose of the tissue immediately. What it means is that handkerchiefs are not, preferred in this case because you end up keeping them, and that's not what they are talking about. Please use some form of tissue and dispose after that, and this is because droplets do spread the virus. If you have a fever, a cough, or a difficulty in breathing, seek medical attention as soon as possible. And the last one has to do with any individuals who might have traveled out of the country, and particularly to those countries that have been affected by the virus there. The WHO says you need to follow the guidelines that we have outlined above and stay home if you begin to feel unwell, even with mild symptoms such as a headache or a slight runny nose, until you recover. If you develop a fever, cough, or difficulty in breathing, then seek medical advice and promptly, as this may be due to respiratory infection or any other serious condition like the viruses. Those are some of the do's and don'ts in this time of the coronavirus. Please be mindful of yourself and your environment and follow some of these guidelines to be able to stay safe and healthy and away from the virus. It's time for a fast short break on Weekend Edition tonight, but still ahead. Chaos bring business to a standstill in Eldoret as Deputy President William Ruto's supporters demand that he be respected. More after the break. Do stay with us.
Dettol's main objective is to help children protect themselves from diseases. Do you know how we get illnesses like diarrhea, cough, and cold? No! They are spread through germs on your hands. Your hands collect germs that causes diseases. You pick up germs from any surface, like when you don't wash your hands after going to the toilet, while playing. And then you can get sick because of germs. That's why you need to fight germs to stay healthy by washing your hands regularly with Dettol soap that gives the best germ protection ever against many illness-causing germs.
Wash, wash, wash your hands. What you have to do is bath yourself. Dettol soap every day. Wash, wash, wash your hands.
New Blue Band mayonnaise. Made from natural ingredients with omega-3 and 6 to enjoy long-lasting freshness and natural taste unlike any other mayo. Grow healthy and happy kids with New Blue Band mayonnaise.
There you go.
Okay, thank you.
Hi there. Selena, it's great seeing you getting so much value for your money.
Well, it's important to save as much as you can.
You save everywhere. Except for here. This is where you're throwing money down the drain.
How?
On these cleaning products.
Impossible.
Harpic 10X. While other cleaners flow away, Harpic 10X's viscous formula in only one round of application gives you sparkling, clean toilet. Harpic, 10 times better cleaning than other cleaning products.
And great savings too.
iAbiri is a solution that gives you the power to book a ticket to your destination at the right time and the right price. With a choice of over 35 bus companies, iAbiri gives you the power of choice to easily and conveniently book your ticket to all major destinations. Whether you're traveling for a social function, business, work, or a romantic getaway, iAbiri will get you there. Download the app or log on to www.iabiri.com or call us on 0709 215 215 to book your ticket now. iAbiri, your smart travel partner.
Your multi-bet is on its way to hit the bullseye. Oh, you lose one match, but only in Mozart. Mozart Refund, lose one game, get your cash back. Make a decision. Terms and conditions apply.
Sona moja imetengenezwa kwa njia spesheli ili kupambana na maumivu kwa haraka. Sona moja ina aspirin kama kiungo. Sona moja, kitulizo kamili. Maumivu yakizidi, pata ushauri wa daktari.
New Blue Band peanut butter. Made with 100% pure peanuts and a good source of omega-6. Grow healthy and happy kids with New Blue Band peanut butter.
I am pleased by just the simple little things of life. And I promise if you take the time, you won't be looking for too long before you find this little secret of mine.
Nimetiwa mbaroni.
Tosha. Ni kweli nyinyi mmenikosea sana, haswa wewe na mume wangu, lakini mimi si mtu wa kulipiza kisasi.
Leo namtaka mume wangu ama nitamuua kuto.
Yule mrembo si Nabila
na yule uko naye Jabali wangu. Tulia bro.
Tulie vipi?
Sikize Jabali wasema ukweli.
Na wewe usinichemshe. Nikafikiri uko njama moja na huyu mwanao Nabila na hili jitoto ile ambalo sura mbovu. Yaani wewe umekosa mtu wa kupenda, unakwenda penda hili jiduluvula hili. Haya, kwenda kupelekeni nyele zenu kwa mkatie kalikiti.
Welcome home to Amani Rich, the place of peace. Invest in Amani Rich, the place of peace. Call us today on 0790 300 300 or visit www.optivan.co.ke.
Welcome back to Weekend Edition, and this is something that will certainly come as a relief for many insurance policy holders. And since Kenya's first confirmed case of the virus, Insurance Regulatory Authority has assured all policy holders and the public of the issuance of industry support in combating the virus. RA Chairman Abdi Rahman Abdi dispelled public fears that insurance companies will not cater for the expenses of those infected by the coronavirus. He also expressed support for the government's mitigation measures on the virus. Take a listen.
There was some statements which are made, I think, on social media and even printed press that once it was declared as a pandemic that they would not cover. The Commissioner has engaged all those insurance companies, and all insurance companies are providing medical services, and is assuring the general public that they will honor their commitment. And I would like to also say that an ad, I guess, which is what's it called, if you look at the policy statements, it is an exclusion once it's declared a pandemic. But I think the insurance sector is looking at the national interest and seeing how best to assist in this period.
And as a media industry, we are playing our part in sensitizing the public in terms of preventive measures in these times of the coronavirus. And here is a short video that we have made as a Nation Media Group just to show you what you need to do and what you need to know about the virus. And coronavirus disease, or COVID-19, is an infectious disease caused by a new virus that had not been previously identified. And the virus causes respiratory illnesses like the flu, with symptoms such as a cough, fever, and some more, like severe fever in that case. So you have the runny nose, you have fever there, you have the cough, and the shortness of breath as well. These are some of the symptoms that you need to look out for, and especially if perhaps you have come into contact with an infected person. And that is information available in our social media pages here at Nation Media Group. Of course, the entire group and the platforms that we have, that's the Daily Nation, NTV, and the rest of them as well. Just to let you know what this is about and what you need to do in these times of the disease to make sure that you are safe and that if at all you're infected, you do not infect other members of the public. On the coronavirus, because this is actually big, and the World Health Organization says that Europe is now the epicenter of the coronavirus. It is warning that the continent has more daily cases than China did at the height of its outbreak. Italy, the second worst affected country after China, where it originated, is now under complete lockdown. You can see actually the effect of this, and Zainab Ismail has been looking at the global trends.
The impact of the coronavirus pandemic continues to be heavily felt across all sectors in the world. Kenya, Ethiopia and Sudan have recorded the first cases of the COVID-19 on Friday, adding to the list of African countries affected, which now stands at 16. Egypt, however, remains the nation with the most reported cases, with at least 80, with 2 recorded deaths. The outbreak has prompted air travel restrictions and cancellations on high-level conferences across the continent. Italy has closed all its commercial activities, including offices, cafes and shops, recording 15,113 new cases of the virus. Only transportation, pharmacies and groceries will remain open. Spain has also recorded 1,188 new cases and 36 new deaths, declaring a 15-day state of emergency. Pakistan is shutting all of its land borders and limiting international flights for 15 days, according to its foreign minister. The country has also closed all schools nationwide. Iraq has also banned entry to travelers from Germany and Qatar, bringing the total number of countries on its entry ban list to 13, and which has so far recorded 83 cases of coronavirus, 8 deaths and 24 recoveries. And India reported its first coronavirus death as authorities ordered schools, theatres and cinemas closed in New Delhi for the rest of the month in a bid to keep the pandemic at bay. The coronavirus COVID-19 is affecting 135 countries and territories around the world. 5,120 people have died so far from the pandemic. There are currently 139,579 confirmed cases, as fatality rate is still being assessed. Meanwhile, US President Donald Trump has announced he will give a press conference from the White House on the subject of the coronavirus at 10 p.m. local time. Zainab Ismail, NTV.
Now, away from the coronavirus and Deputy President William Ruto's woes, the DP is now calling for calm over the impeachment attempts against him. This came hours after some demonstrators took to the streets in Eldoret to express their disappointment with a section of Jubilee leaders who have called for the resignation and impeachment of the DP. Business within Eldoret town was paralyzed for a short while with traders having to close shop. Police later contained that situation. However, such public activities and gatherings will now have to be put on hold for at least 30 days given the coronavirus case that has been confirmed in Kenya and following the government directive on that as well.
Ati mtu ameajiriwa na serikali anatumia ofisi ya serikali, matapeli na wakora eti kuendesha fitina na vitisho kwa magavana, kwa wabunge, kwa wananchi. Atipo usichukua msimamo huu wa kisiasa, tutakutumia KRA, tutakutumia EACC, tutakutumia DCI. Mimi nataka niwaambie wananchi wa Kenya, hakuna mtu ametumwa na rais ama mimi ama mtu yeyote kutisha mwingine, na hakuna mtu wako na haki kutisha mwananchi kwa mambo ya msimamo wa kisiasa.
It's 9:30 p.m. Time for another short breather. But at this point, we bring in our business anchor, Julians Amboko, just to tell us what we can expect before the break. And Julians, this is being felt everywhere, be it business, sports, every sector of the country and the economy.
Absolutely, Edmond. It's been a crazy day at the markets. The last time trading was halted at the NSE on account of a market plunge was when the Supreme Court annulled the outcome of the presidential election in 2017. Now that happened today, just giving you a sense of the gravity of the situation. But that and more, and this coming up in the world of business. Kenyans gripped by fear over the COVID-19 virus engage in panic buying of essentials. We have all the details in the business news.
Sisi ni team kubwa bana, The Invincibles.
Dude, the Invincible ama the Invisible. Nakwambia hii hapa hivi ndio team kali. Treble trophy. Toyo kitu hapo.
You guys are nothing. You know what's big? This is big.
Think you're a big fan? Take on the big games and enjoy the big odds only on BigPesa.com.
That's big. It's big.
Big Pesa. Game on.
Oya ni aje, mino Jonte Fresh. Mi ndio nimetambulika hii Gikomba yote sekta ya manguo. Jumio transform nguo ordinary za mtush zenye ziuka mna hii harufu ya bail into the freshest Iggy kosi yote. Siri ni hii Ariel mpya ya pink. Na kushow mtush zinang'ara kung'ara kushinda kamera. So clean, so fresh. Ma customer unaisana na hii story. Ninatumia Ariel touch of down mpya tu.
Ladies and gentlemen,
get ready, dog.
Get ready. Ready, set, jump to the rhythm as hard as you can go. Steady, to the letter right, turn it up, we giving the show.
Hey. What'd I miss?
Fit Me Foundation from Maybelline, New York. Fits your unique tone and texture. Blurs pores, stops shine. For your most natural matte. Fit Me Matte and Poreless, only from Maybelline, New York.
Beat germs with Jik. Kills 99.9% of germs on your kitchen surfaces, sponges, chopping boards, sink and fridge, and your bathroom taps, shower head, basin and surfaces. Just Jik it. Look out for our new improved packaging in store. Just Jik it.
Selena! Toto, where's mommy?
Today's a toilet day.
What? Oh.
Selena!
Toilet day?
Tomorrow we're hosting a party and it's a matter of my reputation.
It's a toilet, not a white shirt. Even if you spend your entire day cleaning with bleach and detergent, it still won't be party ready.
Impossible.
Challenge. Harpic 10X. Even if you use bleach and detergent 10 times, they won't give you the same sparkling clean toilet that Harpic 10X will give you.
Wow!
Harpic 10X. Harpic, Kenya's #1 toilet cleaner.
Prepare yourself for a new live bet experience. Top minute, boosted live bet odds. Mozart, make a decision.
It is time to get down to business. Welcome, I am Julians Amboko. Investors at the Nairobi Securities Exchange closed the week counting heavy losses after 120 billion shillings worth of paper wealth was lost during Friday's trade as news of the country's first case of coronavirus rattled investor confidence. The exchange had to invoke Rule 9.41 of trading rules to arrest the situation.
Trading at the Nairobi Securities Exchange was suspended at 2:38 p.m. on Friday, 22 minutes ahead of the stipulated closing time after the NSE 20 share index, an index which tracks the market's performance, plunged by more than 5%, necessitating suspension of trading. Two counters, East African Cables and Sanlam, topped the list of losers, with their share prices plunging by 10% each to close the day at 1 shilling and 71 cents and 13 shillings and 95 cents respectively. Safaricom, which commands the lion's share of the market's value at the exchange, saw its share price dip by 5.4%, with shareholders losing 57 billion shillings worth of paper wealth. The NSE 20 share index closed Friday's trade at a multi-year low of 2,124 points, down 5 percentage points compared to Thursday's close, necessitating suspension of trading at the exchange. Stockbrokers contacted by NTV indicate that foreign investors were exiting the market in droves, posting a net foreign sale of 880 million shillings during Friday's trading. The last time the Nairobi Securities Exchange halted trading on account of a plunge by the market was in September 2017, following the decision by the Supreme Court to annul the outcome of the August 2017 presidential election. Trading at the exchange is expected to resume on Monday.
And from stocks, let's talk about savings. Savings and credit cooperative SACCOs last year recovered 1 billion shillings from state agencies and private companies that have been holding employees' statutory deductions. With more than 1 billion shillings still yet to be recovered, unremitted deductions continue to deny thousands of Kenyans credit to collateral. Lilian Kiarie with the details.
If you're a member of a SACCO and you make a standing order to have a certain amount of your salary transferred to your SACCO as savings, you entrust that your employer does so. However, some employers, particularly universities, have been put on the spot for withholding statutory remittance such as NHIF and also loan and members' deductions to SACCOs.
Regardless of what the challenges may be, money which was recovered or deducted from somebody's salary for purposes of saving through their SACCOs is money really which belongs to the employee or the member of the SACCO. Therefore, no employer has any right, legally or otherwise, to withhold those monies.
Nur was speaking during Stima SACCO's 46th AGM, where he cautioned SACCOs against misappropriating depositors' funds, which have seen many societies suffer from lacking a balanced liquidity to capital ratio.
The other thing we are trying to do is to make sure that moving forward, those institutions, first of all, don't even default on the current dues that they deduct, so that if they have deducted, then they pay.
Stima shareholders are set to share 2.3 billion payout in dividends and interest on deposits. The members will receive a final dividend of 14% per share, while their deposits will attract an interest of 10.5% for the year 2018-2019.
Why we intend to retain a little more is to plan the growth. We are planning to have a cyber crime kind of system that will be able to protect us from the the attacks.
Currently, SACCOs command an asset base of approximately 816 billion shillings, savings of 580 billion shillings, and have a credit portfolio of 600 billion shillings.
This special meeting was
Lilian Kiarie, NTV.
Many thanks, Lillian. A little over 7 months after Paul Kabigada rejoined Vivo Energy after exiting top-tier lender Equity Bank, he's now downing his tools at the downstream petroleum company. NTV has learned that the seasoned marketer has resigned from the position of Executive Vice President Sales and Marketing and is set to be replaced by Omar Benson, who is presently serving as Head of Retail at the downstream petroleum company. This move adds on to Igada's stream of short stints, including his 15 months at Equity Bank and his 5 months as Deputy Governor of Nairobi County. Igada's resignation comes at a time when the county of Nairobi is grappling with a power vacuum, which has seen the takeover of functions by the national government. And it's time to take a look at the financial report. And that's it from the business desk. Edmond Nyabola will be back with more stories.
Molfix breathable surface developed with Airsoft technology is very soft and provides the best Molfix skincare.
I've found the best diaper for my baby's sensitive skin.
All babies deserve a high-quality diaper. You should also try Molfix.
Sisi ni team kubwa bana, The Invincibles.
Dude, the Invincible ama the Invisible. Nakwambia hii hapa hivi ndio team kali. Treble trophy. Toyo kitu hapo.
You guys are nothing. You know what's big? This is big.
Think you're a big fan? Take on the big games and enjoy the big odds only on bigpesa.com.
That's big. It's big.
Big Pesa. Game on.
One, two, three, get it. Where the B-boys at?
I am Carol and I've invested in the Alma by Saiton located in Noaka. Investing in the Alma was the best investment decision I made. I was one of the area investors and I have enjoyed up to 55% of the capital appreciation. If you are looking to earn above average returns, invest sharp in the Alma Phase 2 today.
Phase 1 is 100% sold. Call to reserve your unit in Phase 2 today.
Welcome back to NTV Weekend Edition, and the Nation Media Group has been kind enough to give us some sanitizers for every time we need to do this, and it's one of the precautionary measures around this coronavirus issue. And please find some of these and use them and wash your hands regularly. As a company, we are taking this very seriously, and that's why we have some of these around here. Now, you may have heard of one or the other kind of system, like say Madilu system ya Majambazi, and the broken system perhaps. But now there's just the system, and it has the Deputy President William Ruto crying. Well, not yet in tears. It's all about who calls the shots, and as Emmanuel Juma now tells us, on Bullseye, jealousy and deceit combine to give flavor to what we call Kenyan politics.
2022 we are going to have a leader. Mtapiga kura kwa kiongozi wa kuongoza nchi hii, na kati ya hao viongozi watakuwa kwa serikali William Samoei Ruto, Boni Halwale, na hao wote ambao wako mrengo huo hawatakuwa ndani ya serikali.
That's almost definitive. Could it be that he's part of the system?
I don't know why you are thinking like that.
Oh, wrong framing of the question perhaps?
I am a system in myself.
Wow. Wow. Hold on. But what is the system?
The system usually will use the name of President Uhuru Kenyatta as a human shield. Why? Because they are a couple of cowards who don't want to be seen. They will use Uhuru Kenyatta as their human shield so that they throw stones at whoever they want to throw stones at and hide behind Uhuru Kenyatta.
Ukiniona pahali mimi niko, usisutuke na usikose kulala na usishutuchwe.
And some of the achievements of the system himself?
Kama nilikalisha hapa watu 1,000,000, nikampa msali ya kiti. I don't know whether you know that.
Now, Francis, you can't do that all alone. Let's hear your lineup.
In this country, we are only 3 people. Is the president a national leader of this nation who is heading the Republic of Kenya, President Uhuru Kenyatta? The other popular person in this country is Raila Amolo Odinga. After that, you come to Francis Atwoli. Wengine wote ni punda.
No William again in the lineup.
They may have the system. They may have whatever they have, but I want to tell them we have God.
Wakikutisha that they have the deep state, tell them you have a deeper God that you believe in.
Hakuna system na deep state kuliko ile ilikuwa na Goliath.
And God or no God, Jim is crafting a plan.
The office of the Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya has brought dishonor and disrespect to the presidency.
I am the Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya, elected by the people of Kenya. And I have no apologies to make to anybody.
Yes, it helps to re-emphasize.
If they are men enough, let them come forward and face me. Let them not hide behind shadows.
And they are responding to the challenge.
Ruto must respect the institution of presidency, respect the holder of the office, or ship out.
It's the prerogative of the president to reshuffle cabinet. He can do it anytime. We don't have that power. He has a power. If you want to bring Raila Odinga as chief minister, let him just go ahead instead of all these shenanigans.
Bring it on, baby. Bring it on.
It's politics.
The deputy president wants to tell us that one chesa na wale wazungu kwa ofisi yake 1 hour and 22 minutes. Hakuna mtu alimpigia simu kumwambia wazungu wako kwa ofisi yako, and that is the second highest office on the land. Hiyo ni mambo ya wajinga hiyo.
Then Badi too took a similar message to Kwale.
It is a shame that the second highest office in this country can host criminals. It is a shame, and we cannot stop talking something like that. It is such a big shame. Kwa hivyo, what I want to say is that as people of Kenya, asanteni sana. Asanteni sana. That is why I said, nikitereza mtanisamehe, si ndio? Wangapi wamenisamehe sasa?
He may need to visit another day to find out if apology was accepted. Unpredictable game, this politics. Just like some dances, you need to be very observant lest you miss a step. Just ask Girishi. Emmanuel Juma, Bullseye, NTV.
I'm not sure what my colleague Brian Otwal will be reporting on going forward now that the coronavirus is affecting almost every sector. The sports sector also affected with some announcements made today. Brian Otwal is in studio with the sports after this.
Discover the all-new Nivea Nourishing Cocoa Lotion, specially formulated with Nivea's Deep Moisture Serum and Africa's natural cocoa for 48-hour deep moisture. Glowing, radiant skin with Nourishing Cocoa Lotion from Nivea. Get 48-hour deep moisture from the new range of Nivea body lotions.
Your multi-bet is on its way to hit the bullseye. Oh, you lose one match, but only in Mozart. Mozart Refund, lose one game, get your cash back. Make a decision. Terms and conditions apply.
Nimetiwa mbaroni.
Tosha. Ni kweli nyinyi mmenikosea sana, haswa wewe na mume wangu. Lakini mimi si mtu wa kulipiza kisasi.
Leo namtaka mume wangu ama nitamuua kuto.
Yule mrembo si Nabila.
Na yule uko naye Njabali wangu. Tulia bro.
Tulie vipi?
Msikize Jabali wasema ukweli. Na wewe usinichemshe. Usinichemshe. Nikafikiri uko chama moja na huyu mwanao Nabila. Na hili jitoto ile ambalo sura mbovu. Yaani wewe umekosa mtu wa kupenda. Unakwenda penda hili jiduluvula hili. Haya kwenda kupelekeni nyele zenu kwa mkatie kalikitu.
Welcome home to Amani Rich, the place of peace. Invest in Amani Rich, the place of peace. Call us today on 0790 300 300 or visit www.optivan.co.ke.
NTV Sport in association with Mozart Bet. SMS NTV to 29990.
Let's have a look at the day's sports news. Welcome, my name is Brian Otwal. Following the news that the first case of coronavirus has been confirmed in the country, the Football Kenya Federation and the Kenya Rugby Union reacted quickly. Globally, the English Premier League and the European Champions League have been suspended, while other sports have had to cancel or suspend various events.
The coronavirus continues to wreak havoc in global sport. The Confederation of African Football has suspended 2021 African Cup of Nations qualifiers, the FIFA Women's Under-20s World Cup qualifiers, and 2020 Women's African Cup of Nations qualifiers. That means that the Harambee Stars' back-to-back Africa Cup of Nations qualifiers against the Comoros that were scheduled to be played this month have been postponed in the light of the coronavirus scare. Following the confirmation by the government of the first case of the coronavirus, the Football Kenya Federation has suspended all lower-tier league matches indefinitely. However, the Kenyan Premier League, National Super League and FKF Betway Cup matches will be played behind closed doors this weekend, with all football action in the country suspended from Monday. But KCB FC have pulled out of their FKF Betway Cup match against Wazito set for Nakuru, citing concerns over the coronavirus. The Kenya Rugby Union has suspended the rest of the current season, with the Kenya Cup, Eric Shirley and KRU Championship semi-finals that were planned for Saturday the immediate casualties. At the same time, the Rugby World Cup 2021 repechage qualifier between Kenya Lionesses and Colombia set for April has been postponed. Overseas, the Premier League announced that the league was suspended until the 3rd of April. The English Football League, which heads up the three divisions below the Premier League, and Women's Super League were also suspended, with England's two friendly matches at home to Italy and Denmark postponed. Meanwhile, all UEFA competitions, including Champions League and Europa League matches due to be played next week, have been postponed. A members' meeting scheduled for next Tuesday will discuss the fate of the Euro 2020. In motorsport, the cancellation of this weekend's Australian Grand Prix has been followed by the announcements that the inaugural Vietnam Grand Prix, the Chinese Grand Prix and the Bahrain Grand Prix have all been shelved.
Latest news is that the London Marathon set for next month has been postponed until October. That is the latest so far regarding sports. Moving on, amidst the gloom brought by the coronavirus in the sporting world, there is some relief for national teams regarding the 2020 Tokyo Olympic Games. This follows the International Olympic Committee Executive Board approval of the extension of the qualification period for the Games. And that Olympic flame for Tokyo 2020 has been lit 134 days before the Games. The International Olympic Committee has promised to review the Tokyo 2020 qualifying schedule and reassign quota allocations. This follows requests from international federations for changes to dates and locations of events affected by the breakout of the coronavirus. In Kenya, judo and wrestling qualifying events were cancelled, while men and women's beach volleyball teams failed to travel to Gambia and Nigeria respectively. Canoe slalom is the latest team to be affected, having jetted back into the country from France on Thursday after the event was cancelled. So far, the men and women national rugby sevens teams, as well as the national women's volleyball team, 2 boxers and a taekwondo player have all booked slots to fly Kenya's flag at the Tokyo Games.
She's trying to find.
Meanwhile, despite the uncertainty over the Olympics occasioned by the coronavirus, the Olympic flame was lit in the ancient Olympia, Greece, marking the start of its journey to Japan, venue of the 32nd Olympiad. The president of the International Olympic Committee, Thomas Bach, and several guests joined the lighting ceremony.
Today marks the beginning of the journey of the Olympic flame to Japan. When the Olympic flame returns to Tokyo after 56 years, hope will light the way across the entire country. The Olympic flame represents our hope for a better future.
Showing their unified support for the Games. A symbol of peace and hope, the Olympic flame will now travel on towards Tokyo, conveying the Olympic values. And after being part of the national sevens rugby team, Shujaa, Collins Omae Gishana seemed too fast for the game and was advised by his coach Jeffrey Kimani to switch to athletics. Currently, Omae hopes that he will book a ticket for the Tokyo Olympic Games in Japan in the 400 meters race.
Raga nilianza high school nikiwa form 2 hapo Dagoretti High School. Nikacheza hadi form 4, alafu nikaingia club ya Harlequins. Nikacheza Harlequins, nikaingia timu ya Kenya ya under 20. After under 20 nikaingia Kenya Sevens. Kwa Kenya Sevens ndio nika transition, nikaingia riadha sasa. Mtu mwenye alinipatia hiyo idea, mimi husema every time ni coach wangu sahi Geoffrey Kimani. Ambao ndio amekuwa strength and conditioning coach wa Sevens for a very long time. Yeye ndiye aliniambia nikitrain pale raga, alikuwa anaona vile nakimbia mbio yangu, ananiambia ndio raga nacheza vizuri lakini nitaweza kufanya vizuri katika riadha. So aliniconvince hadi nikaamua wacha nijaribu siku moja. Ndio nikakuja riadha. Hivyo nikajaribu, nikaona mambo si mbaya naingiana, nikaamua acha nipige mazoezi ya riadha, na nashukuru Mungu kila kitu inaenda vizuri. So far so good, so ni Mungu tu.
And despite the Ministry of Health's ban on public gatherings following Kenya's first confirmed coronavirus case, the Football Kenya Federation county elections will still go on as planned on Saturday. This as football stakeholders await Tuesday's Sports Dispute Tribunal ruling, which might just have the whole process start from scratch once again.
In a media briefing held as the Ministry of Health was announcing the country's first confirmed coronavirus case, the Football Kenya Federation Electoral Board has sounded a cautious tone.
We would go with the national health guidelines. Ask people to make sure that they are taking the guidelines of washing your hands.
Despite this assurance, the Electoral Board appears dead set to conduct the FKF county elections on Saturday, even as public gatherings have been banned by the government. Out of the 47 counties, only 9, among them Nairobi, Nyeri and Kisii, will host the polls facilitated by IEBC-trained officials.
They'll be in the various areas where we have contestation. We will not have elections where candidates came in unopposed.
The Electoral Board is marching on despite an imminent Sports Dispute Tribunal ruling set for Tuesday next week over the validity of the polls which have been nullified and postponed before.
If the judgment decides the elections are cancelled, we will cancel them then. There's been a question as to why we are continuing while the SDT hearing is still going on. Our benchmark is the FIFA deadline. Kenya must have its elections by 30th of March, failure to which we will be kicked out of FIFA.
In the case of a tie during the Saturday county polls, there will be repeat elections on Wednesday. Meanwhile, in keeping with the full steam ahead mode, FKF issued a convocation notice on Wednesday for national elections set for March 27th. This as football stakeholders await the John Ohaga-led tribunal ruling that has potential to scuttle the entire process despite the clock ticking on the March 30th deadline set by FIFA for Kenya to have a legally constituted football administration. Ida Warenga, NTV.
And the FKF Betway Cup enters its round of 16 across the country, with Afraha Stadium scheduled to host 4 out of the 8 matches lined up. Wazito's match against KCB is in doubt due to the coronavirus. In other matches, Saturday, Gor Mahia take on Posta Rangers. Defending champions Bandari welcome Sofapaka at the Mbaraki Stadium. And second-tier sides Fortune Sacco and Bidco United clash in Kirinyaga. Sunday sees Kisumu All-Stars host Keroka Technical at the Moi Stadium, Kisumu. Kariobangi Sharks play Talanta, FC Leopards take on Ushuru, and Ulinzi Stars host Migori Youth at the Afraha. Well, that's all we had for you from our sports desk, but no play, but we still talk sports. And tomorrow on Top Sport, we'll have that and much more, starting from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m., discussing much more, including the effects of corona in sports. Back to you, Edmond.
NTV Sport, in association with MozartBet. SMS NTV to 29990.
Mozart Refund, lose one game, get your cash back. Make a decision. Terms and conditions apply.
Thank you so much, Brian Otwala, for the sports. And that's all we had for you on NTV Weekend Edition this Friday. We have to step out of studio because the trend is about to start with a guest host. It's an interesting name that we have to tell you about because Amina Abdirabar is away, and please do stay tuned for that. My name is Edmond Nyabola. Sign language interpreter this evening has been David Agondoa. Do have a lovely night. Bye-bye.
This is NTV.
Si kama yeye penzi lenye mpaka kwa macho.
Na wewe unamjuaje? I was his fiance.
Cheka storo kibao na 200% storo bonus. Piga simu zaidi, tuma SMS au nunua bundles ufikishe target yako leo. Isitoshe, pata 50% extra airtime unapo top up na kupiga *544*2* amount hash. Safaricom, for you.
Sisi ni team kubwa bana, The Invincibles.
Dude, the Invincible ama the Invisible. Nakwambia hii hapa hivi ndio team kali. Treble trophy. Toyo kitu hapo.
You guys are nothing. You know what's big? This is big.
Think you're a big fan? Take on the big games and enjoy the big odds only on BigPesa.com.
That's big. It's big.
Big Pesa. Game on.
Eyo. Nipata juu ya drinks nina Dunda Smart. Na mbogi yangu yote tuna Dunda Smart. Tunaongezea maji tuki Dunda Smart. Katika na mayeng tuki Dunda Smart. Tunaminya masose mabaga